Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Super Metroid Any% Tournament first round. We've got a pretty good race today between the 16 seed Nevdi and the 17 seed Glove. I'm your commentator. I am Zeb316, and joining me today is Sforzand. How you doing?
Hey, it's another great night. Definitely looking forward to this middle seeds matchup of the gold bracket first round variety. These are two runners separated by just 11 seconds on the leaderboard, so it doesn't get too much more even than this. So I'm definitely going to be excited to see what happens here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. The winner of this one will go on to play Zost in the next round. So looking forward to that as well. And it looks like we are just about to start off. Gate just dropped, so we'll be heading off shortly. But yeah, both of these runners, new route runners, I believe, at this moment, or at least for this tournament. So no real route differences. It'll be interesting to see if either of them decide to go to Kraid first before Ridley, for a little bit of extra safety, but I kind of don't expect it given how close their times are.
Yeah, those are going to be some of the things that are interesting because I think finishing the run is the primary point, and then secondarily, you definitely want to do well and you want to figure out what saves that you need to take, what risks you can take in order to get a faster time. We are just about ready to get going here. The gate is going off, so sit back, grab your coldie, turn off that episode of Neighbors that you've been binging, put on some Akadaka, and let's sit back and enjoy this run.
Yep, so the best part of the run to start out is always series. Normally you can tell who's going to win by who wins this series. Gets the higher time in series. So we'll get to see that shortly.
Yeah, I mean, you can pretty much call this race right at the 1.5 minute mark or so when they touch the elevator, and then nothing else will happen.
Yep. I mean, the rest of the game's pretty free. It's pretty easy not to make any mistakes the rest of the game, so...
All right, so we open with this hecking Pelican Ridley. Most of our runners just need to take damage to get down to critical before he decides to fly away with our poor little baby Metroid there. And now the station's going to blow up, and we've got to escape as fast as humanly possible. So far, Glove's got the lead there by 0.02 of a second, and they're
and
tied
they
now.
tied it, yep. Oh, no, Nevdi's got the lead. Come on, Glove, you got this.
Oh, there's some magnet stairs there for Glove.
Oh, Nevdi lost some time, too. Both got the damage boost. Oh, and Glove fell down. They had it, but then
that
Nevdi
elevator is just rough because the steam comes outside the elevator too. Each one of those platforms shoots a side steam, so if you're just too slow, then it unfortunately will set you back probably more than what you would normally expect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Steam is very, very annoying in series.
So we didn't clarify, but I'm pretty confident this is two new route runners, so we are definitely going to see Fantoon first. We're going to see all of the necessary movement that takes us to Fantoon first, with the Green Pirates deaths and that sort of thing. So the big obstacle that we're going to have here in a few minutes is the Moat. But until then, we've got some limited item collection. This is a tricky movement area where we're dealing with a couple of moonfalls and a couple of tricky jumps in the pit both ways. It's good to see, interesting to see how both of our runners navigate this.
It looks like both doing the parlor moonfall, and will either of them go for the weave one? Nope, just going for the more normal moonfall here at climb. Glove also confirming in chat that they run, looks like peak ARD. So
oh, there you go. There's your E-Tank safety right there.
Mm-hmm.
The divergence between New Route and PKRD, which I thought was hybrid. It's not hybrid. That's actually a different name. But PK gets you about, I think, 18 seconds or so of time loss in total, and that's largely speed booster in the hallways. So we'll see if they can make up that time just with better movement and more survivability. And certainly, if Nevdi dies for not having that E-Tank, that's a lot of time you can make up.
Yeah, I think it's pretty likely that we see Nevdi die here. I'm not sure. I think that he doesn't like to finish runs very often, at least not in the streams, so...
Yeah, I would say if there's any piece of advice we could give to Nevdi, it's don't die. Just don't die.
I mean, if Nevdi just finishes the run, I think that's kind of like a moral victory for him.
Yeah, I think that just a good old pat on the back will be sufficient.
That being said, Nevdi actually does have a small lead heading into reverse pit room. We'll see how these runners do this. Nevdi missed the damage boost there. And Glove doesn't look like they go for the damage boost, so...
yeah, the non-damage boost is the common strat. The getting that damage boost off of the French fry I-beam is a bit more of an advanced strat. I think it saves about half a second or so, 30, 45 frames, something like that, depending on the rest of your movement in that room. But it is costly if you don't get that D-boost. You just are set back.
Yeah, for sure. For races, I tend to find the people who kind of go for those more, I guess, safer, less costly strats a lot of times do a little better. Oh no, a glove.
Oh.
But...
yeah, that's one of those. It gets implemented in the middle level or so. Most people, you just jump on the platform, you shoot your missiles and go. But as a time save, you could shoot those missiles in the air. But you have to be careful and not shoot either the platform or above the door, which is actually that latter one is what I do usually.
Yeah, I never used to do those air missiles just because I was so worried about missing, and now I've just started to do one. Because one's normally pretty safe, although Glove, they did miss one when they went for only one there. Nevdi had a bit of trouble with that BT fight. Looks like Glove made up a good amount of time there.
Yeah, it's pretty similar BT fights. You still had 2 cycles of orbs that came out, and otherwise it's generally clean. Coming out with at least 2. Nevdi's low on missiles, but it's generally okay. You want to come out of there with 4, because if you don't take any damage, you're going to get a free one off of the Gamer coming up. You get that missile, then you'll shoot a missile, and you'll get another missile off of a waiver. Nevdi's going to have to stop and shoot a second waiver. That's going to just basically set him back half a second or so as he has to stop his momentum.
Yeah, in new route, you need to really worry about this, where in old route is less big of a deal. Although, Glove, it looks like, missed the waiver, so had to go back and farm it to get the missile.
Yeah, Terminator timing can be very tricky if you don't arm pump. If you're going with the traditional hold shot and one arm pump down, if you do that at the wrong time, the sub-pixel will put your last shot to hit the third gamer just short, and if you hit that gamer, it throws off the timing to shoot the waivers, which can often cause undesirable results.
Yeah, such as we saw. And Glove, it looks like, kind of hesitated on that missile shot. I think they thought that they weren't going to get it, so they decided to not go for it. I think that just shooting a missile there would have been fine, because even if you miss it, you're kind of in the same spot as Glove ended up being there, except that you have to just shoot the guy twice instead of with one missile.
And I can tell you this as somebody who has completed their first round matchup, is not too terribly far from these 2 runners. Nerves can be a huge factor in these kind of races too. Now I know Glove does a lot of races, so that's and Nevdi as well. Both these are seasoned racers in randomizer categories and in other games and things like that. But I do know at least there can be an element of nerves when it comes to maybe running your first real one-on-one race of the tournament, and that just could be it. Just the input errors related to that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, especially when you're racing against Nevdi and thinking about the embarrassment that would happen if you lost to Nevdi. I think that definitely plays a factor.
Sure. Actually, I was doing some research, and it's a little known factoid that because Nevdi exists in Australia but plays on an NTSC copy of Super Metroid, he actually has to turn his TV upside down to get a relative image of the game.
Yeah, he has to turn his whole room is basically set up upside down like that. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. So.
We got Knucklehead in the chat who definitely agrees with that sentiment.
It looks like for now, Nevdi, I think he's a little more than a item fanfare ahead of Glove at this point.
Yeah, and
Probably
missing a bit of that red tower's about a 3 to 5 second setback. Actually, it was really a missed wall jump there, but it's still a few seconds. I mean, this is still really, really tight, and it's still really early. We're counting up on our first big gatekeeper, the Moat.
Yep. I would say for Nevdi, the first gatekeeper are these Vile Plumes, but it looks like he's getting through these fine.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. He's got another D boost on the other side. Oh, no! There it is, the prophecy fulfilled. I would be just ashamed right now if I were Nevdi.
I think if I were Nevdi, I would just like quit and maybe never come back to running Super Metroid again after that. But
well, that would certainly guarantee that he would not bop any of the runners here on the streams now, you know.
But it looks like Nevdi has no sense of shame, so he is continuing.
Yeah, so we'll see if the Moat is the great equalizer. Maybe Karma will catch up to him.
Pretty even going into Moat at this point.
Yeah,
it looks like Glove. Yeah.
Oh, and Nevdi fell in the Moat. Get your budgie, smugglers. We're going swimming.
Yep, looks like both of them will be going for those HBJs.
Great by Glove.
Glove gets it first try.
Oh,
and Nevdi misses it.
What color of budgie smugglers do you think Nevdi would wear to go swimming?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I'd have to say hot pink.
I think that fits him pretty well.
Yeah. It contrasts with that black and white tone, like of his face and his like world, because he lives in a black and white world. If you all didn't know this, if you ever watch Nevdi stream, his whole house and all of his decorations it's just all black and white. There's like no color at all. So when he goes out into the real world, he likes to wear as much color as possible.
I kind of feel like he might wear puke orange because that matches the level of his gameplay.
Yes. Hopefully, and I may have to explain just a hair bit of this to chat. We are definitely fond of Nevdi. This is not we're not attempting to personally. No, we are attempting to personally attack Nevdi, but
speak for yourself.
Fair enough. But this is all in good fun as we've got this Fantoon fights. So far, I think we're maybe one missile down on Glove's side, but a nice mid there. Going for an off-screen here. Let's see if they get it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. Oh no!
Oh no, that was one short.
Glove had a pretty good setup there actually for an on-screen Doppler, but really wanted that to finish it off there. So it looked like wanted to do the off-screen to kind of give a little bit more room to try to get the missiles into the super.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to assume happens, I missed most of the first round, is if you get 3 instead of 4, like if you get 2-1 or 1-2 because a flame eats a missile or something, the beginning of that round looked like it was about, not quite in the red, but more in that brown, but still, despite getting an enrage, they still finished Fantoon, so Nevdi not able to take advantage of that error by creating some errors of his own.
Yeah, I think Nevdi definitely did make up a good amount of time after falling in Moat there, but couldn't quite catch up yet.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's one of those things where if you do something like a Fantoon Enrage or something that's like, oh man, that's something I don't want to see, that's something I don't want to have happen, the best thing I guess you could do is to put your head down and just room to room, segment to segment, just put that out of your mind. Either pretend it didn't happen or just have a really good short-term memory, because at this point the run is still wide open.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it helps a little bit that if you're watching the restream and you can see you're still a little ahead, it feels a little bit less bad, because sometimes if you do something like that and you just end up like 30 seconds behind, you're like, oh man, like I'm not sure I'm even in this race anymore. But when you're still ahead like this, it's like, okay, I messed up, but I can still win this.
Yeah, I don't know if I could actually watch. I didn't watch the restream in my race because I don't know if I could watch what my opponent was doing and have a level head about things. When
Yeah.
to me, it's kind of like golf. You know, and you're in charge of your own game and what you could do. But if you watched your opponent play, it can definitely influence how you play. And I don't know if I like that kind of interaction, because I will probably end up making more mistakes trying to respond to things outside of my control.
Yeah, I think that for me, what I like to do sometimes is like have set points where I kind of like tune into the restream again. Um, and outside of those, basically ignore it. Like set points where like maybe I'm looking to get Kraid E-Tank or something, or like in War Norfair if I want Ridley E-Tank or something like that. I want set points so that if I'm like way ahead, I can know, okay, I should probably get this just to play it safe.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. But outside of that, yeah, I don't like watching my opponent either.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that I think if I get beat, I just would want to get beat without those changes. Stick to what you know is your game, and if you feel comfortable making certain risks and whatnot, do that, because that's your choice to make, not like, oh, you have to make this response. You have to hit full halfy, or you have to skip Ridley E-Tank in order to catch back up. You definitely don't want to do the gravity skip there. That would be bad.
Yeah, yeah. Nevdi, known well for doing that. One interesting thing to note is Nevdi has much better supers than Glove. Also has an extra power bomb, though a bit less relevant.
Yeah, if Nevdi could just go ahead and take a Smoko and go ahead and drop one of those power bombs at the same time, that would definitely help us all out.
Mm.
Oh, did not get another power bomb drop from both crabs. Yeah. That feels bad too.
Yeah, that hurts.
Oh, Nevdi got it. Okay, Nevdi took
Mm-hmm.
your power bomb. That's let's just go ahead and deduct some points from him for that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's unsportsmanlike conduct there.
Yeah, so the big difference in super count is actually going to revolve around how many supers you're going to need going into lower Norfair. Having 5 is rough, because you not only need to farm those 2 cack attacks, but you're still going to rely on a lot of RNG from the Batcave. Nevdi having 10 can skip cack attacks altogether, and even with a little luck could actually stay closer to 10 by the time he gets to the Batcave. But we're not cheering for that kind of luck.
Yeah, and one interesting thing to note is with Glove, I think, looking to do PKRT, the supers actually don't really matter. Like,
oh, that is a good point. I remember now that, yes, Glove is running PKRD, which means you're going to get mini Kraid farm twice. So that's going to be 4 supers a shot there. The difference, though, on the other side is the super count coming out of Ridley is going to matter. So that is just one sort of major difference. Aside from the extra E-Tank, is the super count coming out of Ridley is going to actually matter. Whereas it doesn't matter so much if you run PR, because when you go to do Kraid, you'll get to super missiles. Okay, now here's hoping that Nevdi does not blow the tube here. Oh, he just did it. Oh, man. Okay, better luck next time.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of his qualifiers, he did end up soft locking there, so...
Oh, I see. I've done the soft lock once, but I commonly end up running off screen before getting that tube blown altogether. So it's a waste of a power bomb. It's a waste of those seconds dropping and waiting, and it's a waste of the seconds to have to do that again after Kraid.
Yeah, it definitely does hurt. I think the Glove's power bomb count might also actually be fine because of the Kraid drops. We'll have to see. Is one enough here?
Yeah, well, at this point, having 1 is fine, because you really just want that 1 for high jump boots. If you are good at the pre-Coliseum farm, or sorry, pre-Cathedral farm, you'll get 2 back there, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's True.
And a solid Kraid DLC free fight for Glove.
Mm-hmm. Nicely done. And Glove did get back up to full power bombs anyway. So up to 5 supers. If they use missiles on Mini Kraid, then they'll be up to 9, which is a pretty good count. Won't have to worry too much about that going into War Norfair.
Yeah, and so there is going to be a little bit of a divergence as you guys are watching, and we'll be sure to keep you updated. There's going to be a little divergence because it's going to look like Nevdi's ahead by quite a bit in virtue of them about to be in Norfair together. But with Glove having that Kraid kill done early, that's partially just deceptive is all that is. And they'll catch back up when Nevdi gets around to killing Kraid after the Kraid DLC, of course. Okay, Glove opting for the warehouse E-Tank. This is a fine pickup. This actually was where the power bombs would be. If you did not come out of there with full power bombs and you did get the warehouse E-Tank, you would be full of power bombs right there. So that would have taken care of itself. That warehouse E-Tank will ensure a easier Ridley fight. That would give 3 tanks for Ridley, where most runners would only have 2. I expect Nevdi's going to have 2. There's no real other E-tanks to pick up between here and there.
Yeah, and the E-tank, I mean, is the main reason that you go to Kraid first. Various suit saves a little bit of damage on the gravity jump, but the E-tank is what you're really after.
Okay, we're going with the Ice Climbers strat. Oh, a unfortunately good morph ball into that spike to avoid getting knocked down Bubble Mountain.
I'm not sure exactly how much time the Kraid takes, so like how far Glove would need to be behind before they actually are behind.
I'm not an expert at this game at all, but as far, I think it's somewhere in the 18-second neighborhood because it largely resides in having speed booster through the long hallways.
Yeah, I was more talking about like how close Glove needs to be to actually be like even with Nevdi.
Oh, you want me to like do math on Twitch? I'm pretty sure that's frowned upon. Okay, oh, and Nevdi doing the stop at the beginning of Double Chamber because he's not confident trying to get that jump across. That's the thing that separates him from a higher runner, you know, a higher 40, lower 44 runner, somebody that he definitely looks up to, that I know he looks up to. You got to run through that door. You got to not stop there. That's what's stopping you from PBing at this point.
I think that'll be like the first of quite a few cowardly decisions we see Nevdi make in this run.
Oh yeah, he's gonna play it very safe at this point.
I expect we'll see one of either Ridley E-Tank or Fireflies. We'll see which one.
I'm hoping for Fireflies at this point because that'll be a very interesting series of events to occur for him to get Firefly.
I think that he gets Firefly actually reasonably often in races. Sometimes your health doesn't look too bad coming out of Ridley, but then you take a few unfortunate hits, and then your health looks a lot worse going into Three Musketeers.
Yeah, and that area is really tough, almost regardless of what route you're running, whether it's PK or PRK. That room is tough. The Three Musketeers, even Red Key Hunter Shaft is tough coming back out for both of these runs. So we got another swim for Nevdi as he does gravity jump.
Yep, still has pretty good energy, pretty good ammo. And Glove will be getting there shortly as well.
Yep, and again, if you're just joining us, the offset is largely due to routing at this point. And Glove has opted to kill Kraid second, which puts them back just a little bit because of the added energy tank and potentially the extra Varia suit damage reduction. But again, yeah, it is not an amazing amount.
Oh no,
Oh no,
Nevdi.
Nevdi missed the. Oh, Nevdi's in a bit of trouble right now. Oh,
The
he
good
pulls
thing
out of
is
it.
that, yeah,
Wow.
Nevdi's messed that up so much that he's developed like two separate backups for it. So that's the first one, and then once that one messes up, he has another one because he's messed up the backup so often that he's developed another backup for his backup.
My gosh, imagine being so bad at the main way of playing the game that you got to come up with these kind of backups. I guess
Yeah,
if there's any lesson Nevdi's trying to teach you kids, it's practice your backups.
mhm.
Oh, and Nevdi missed the spark in there too, so this is going to be a lag-filled power bomb.
Yep. Doesn't get
Two of
drops
them.
either. So.
Okay, we'll see if he gets his manipulation here. He does. He doesn't get hit by the Disgiga.
Yeah, health not too bad. Going into Metal Pirate's room.
Yeah, opting for the single Kago. The second Kago is a little tougher, but probably opting for that balance of just keeping the health, but saving the time getting the first Kago.
Yeah, I kind of like just going for the first Kago. It saves a good amount of time still, and yeah, I don't know. The second one is a little bit riskier too. Sometimes, if you really mess it up, you can end up in the acid, and then have the block fall on top of you.
Gravity jump also for Glove, but the difference in having Faria is the heat resistance, so you can leave that off until you get to the elevator. Just missed the elevator and a little disgusted. We can see the sort of the hand wave there. Obviously, wished it had gone a little better, but it's really not that bad. Like I said, with the crate second is really the difference between the gap right now. So it is a little deceptive in determining which one's kind of in the lead. Plus, Ridley is kind of a butt. So hopefully Nevdi learns how to navigate this well.
Yeah, that was a tough pattern to deal with right there.
Yeah, good fast pillars for Glove as well. That's important. Let's see if Glove gets this first try. There we go. There's the time saves right there, not having to worry about backups because you get it right the first try. Take notes, Nevdi.
Not sure how many shots Nevdi is into this Ridley fight. There's the color changed. With 8 supers, I think that's like 13 or 14 charge shots from when the red changed.
And so Glove got the spark into Red Key Hunter Shaft, saving, getting the item drops and saving the lag. These are those little time saves that are you're gonna see whether or not they pay off when Nevdi ends up getting the crate DLC and finishing that boss off.
Yeah, I think we'll see. Also, like one of the other big things that will be a factor will be the Ridley boss fight.
Okay,
it's kind of hard to tell how well it goes for a runner a lot of the time, so we'll see as well once they meet back up how well it went for each of them, kind of.
Nevdi did not go for the Ridley E-Tank. Either you're right and he's going for Fire Flea, or he's gonna take a big risk and try and stretch this lead a bit.
I think that he's gonna go 3-tank. His health is really good here. Normally when he gets those, it's because his health isn't.
Oh, that was a bad hit right there.
Yeah.
Oh, he got pinched in the spike, which is like 50 energy. That is not the hit you want to take right there.
We'll see now. I know Nevdi doesn't really want to lose much time to a runner like Glove, who's significantly better than him. So,
definitely. I mean, you know, it's.
Now,
Nevdi, no!
Oh my god. Oh no!
Oh, jeez!
Oh! Well, should have grabbed the Ridley tank.
Should have grabbed the Ridley tank. Oh man, did you see those key hunters bear down on him? It was like they just backed him into a corner and shanked him.
Still would have been fine if he hadn't have taken that hit from the platform.
Oh, crikey, Nevdi, why?
Zon, that's what the name of the enemy is.
Though this is not officially over just yet. Glove does have to finish the run by the rules of the tournament. If there is a forfeit, Glove does have to actually finish the run. So that is going to be pivotal as we see the end of, just about the end of Ridley here. Finishing the run is not easy, but I think if Glove's watching the restream or at least checking the race room.
Yeah. And I think the Glove, I've seen them comment a few times, so I think they're watching. I wonder if we'll see something a little more interesting from Glove from here on out, or if they'll just continue to do normal any percent stuff.
Yeah, I definitely expect less risks to be taken. Is it a matter of just finishing? Certainly, there are certain things that are going to be less important than others. Certain strats might be a little less important than others on health, how you approach things like Metroid rooms. Certainly panicking over things like Baby Skip or whatever the case may be. There's really no more need to panic. Not opting for the Ridley E-Tank here either. We're just going for Pirate's Kill, which actually, if you do PK, you are going to need these supers. So good luck drops on those supers.
I know that some runners like to just kind of keep playing their game, even if they know that their opponent died. Almost kind of a courtesy thing, to some extent. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that some runners kind of feel like that.
And I think, well, if you have the 3 tanks in general, and you got those refills from the Pirates did really good on dropping. And actually, now that I just kind of take some time to think about it, this Key Hunter's being a little rough right now. If you had your 3 tanks, already without getting Ridley's E-Tank, you have your 3 tanks, and you needed supers anyway because you did PK. We got a Fire Flea going here. Okay. This is a great safety right here to get across the 3 Musketeers. 3 Musketeers is a difficult room. It's good to have this refill to be able to get through a little more safely, kind of ensure that you don't die, as that is the most important thing right now.
Yep. Yeah, it's basically the only thing that matters from here on out is just not dying.
I kind of forgot how dark this room gets when you kill all of the Fire Fleas and collect those Powerbomb drops.
It's probably because you don't play randomizer too much.
It is true, I don't. I'm not a big randomizer guy. I should though.
Pretty often.
I should though, because I know randomizers will help you get better at the game.
Yeah, they do something like that.
Maybe that's what Nevdi needed to do, is play a little more randomizers. That'll help him get through.
I think that's the problem. I think he was playing too much randomizers, if I'm being honest. Not enough any percent. But...
I could understand that. Simultaneously, too much and not enough randomizers. So from here, it's the same route as everything else. We're gonna get down to Dragon. We're gonna go under the sea, and we're gonna go take on Dragon here. It's with the Fire Flea tank. I think it's gonna depend. I don't know if Glove's gonna pick up that Botwoon E-Tank or not. I guess it's partially gonna depend on how Botwoon goes, because if Botwoon deals a lot of damage, you may want to pick that up as another refill. Full half, he takes a lot of health, and Dragon is not easy. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely see. It looks like Nevdi resetting. Nevdi did forfeit in the race, but I think you are allowed to unforfeit, so Nevdi might just...
Yeah, I don't actually know what the rules are about forfeiting and unforfeiting. I know that most of the time, if you take a death and your opponent knows it, I did this in my races. I saved at Mother Brain. That was the last insurance I had before knowing that I may or may not have died. I took that save anyway because Mother Brain can be really jerk sometimes, and so sometimes that save might be prudent if you know all you need to do is finish the race.
Yeah, I know that Nevdi also actually doesn't like restarting because he doesn't like the idea of, like, the person who ties first ends up winning if, like, both runners die. So I might see him just being ready and, like, kind of start, if Glove were to take an unfortunate death, to start up again with Glove.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. That'd be very gentlemanly of him, I suppose, and he should still keep his timer going though, because if he did do that and that happened and they had to sort of restart this, the timer for the race itself is still going. So,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see. I mean, you may think you PB'd, but you actually finished in like an hour and 40 or something like that. Yeah, if you're just joining us, Nevdi took an unfortunate death where he was shanked by two key hunters, backed into a corner, begging for his life. I mean, like, on his knees, sobbing and praying, please don't kill me. And then with one shank, he yelled, crikey, and that was the end.
A very accurate rendition of what happened. I would have just said that Nevdi was bad and died and stupid, but that's just me.
And we've got Nevdi in chat. Hey, Nevdi, maybe you could settle a little bet that we've had. You took a dip in Moat a few different times. What color budgie smugglers would you be wearing if you did? So we've got the setup for Dragon here. We've got X Factor into a Shine Spark. Did not get that left input press. I've made that mistake 300,000 times. That is a common one for runners to do. You never want to do it, but
Yeah.
just recompose. Just try to get those missiles in there. End this fight as quickly as possible.
Yeah, this is where having actually that fifth tank is pretty nice. Having to worry a little less about your health here. Nevdi, it's what the people want.
Yeah, the people have really been asking like interesting questions about you and about your
choice of swimwear.
Yeah. I will tell you, Nevdi, that was a very interesting backup that you did in worst room in the game right there, and we realized that that's pretty rough to have to actually practice your backup. Where if you just done it right the first time, you'd probably be a little better off. I mean, I don't know if you agree with that statement or not. Maybe you don't. To each their own.
Yeah, I know Nevdi's put way more practice into the backup than the original strat, but which is kind of a weird choice to do that, in my opinion. But
yeah, don't blink, and this is almost a completely solid Coliseum. Still a solid Coliseum exit. Didn't get the third D boost, but that is a solid Coliseum exit.
Nevdi, we have been saying nothing but like true things about you that are.
Yes, we've been making nothing but fair dinkum statements.
But hey, at least you proved me wrong. You're not a coward. You're just kind of not that smart. Good for you.
Oh, solid single tile jump through in there. Single tile gaps are one of my nemesis. Glove conquered that one with ease. Yeah,
maybe I should focus a little more on the remaining run from Glove. Glove did had a okay Dragon fight. Messed up a little bit in it, but managed to recover, and then has been playing pretty well through the rest of this.
Yeah, I mean, I've got this. If you've got more things you have to say about Nevdi, I mean, go ahead.
He doesn't deserve anything more to be said about him.
Fair enough. That will be the last time that we mention him.
Until maybe the interview, but
maybe we'll see.
Not sure he deserves an invite to that either, but. So I think this time for Glove will probably be a 46 from here. Yeah,
and still definitely respectable for finishing a race. because, like I said at the top of the broadcast, sometimes finishing the run is probably the most paramount thing. You finish the run one, try and have a good time, try and do very well. That's like second to finishing the extra. Because if you don't finish the run, you don't win, and that was proven here with this match.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing somewhere that something like half of runners who enter Super Metroid any % races die or forfeit at some point.
It makes sense. Super Metroid is a very violent and fickle game, and it gives and it takes, and when it takes a lot. A lot of runs die in Lower Norfair. A lot of runs die at that moat. I mean, you saw the other runner take the dip into the moat multiple times. It's not easy to do that trick, and so that's one of those things that just kind of feels real bad and can tilt you from the start. But yeah, it's a run resetter if you're doing private PB attempts.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that can kind of derail your run, even like in Torian here. Not getting enough Metroid drops, something like that, can really end up costing you a run.
Yeah, hopefully with the health as high as it is, 421 right now, you're pretty close to, even having 5 tanks, you're still pretty close to max, so you hopefully wouldn't worry about missile drops, but sometimes it's the super missile drops that can really, they really change the course of this, because this is another place where runs die thanks to just bad RNG. If you don't get the supers to drop, you can't just farm the Metroids after you've killed them all, and so that makes the end of the run quite difficult to complete.
The good news for Glove is that because Nevdi died, even if they end up getting like the worst Super Metroid or Super drop ever, they could technically, before entering the baby room, go back to the ship and refill. But it looks like their supers are good.
Yeah, this looks good now. Just since you went 20, I mean, if you wanted to use missiles, it's fine, but missiles and health drops occupy the same spot in the table, so if you want to do a super, fill that, top that off. It looks like, yeah, 2 there, still drops the super, full health, full ammo, full good to go into the baby room.
Yep, gets that damage boost, so only takes 1 hit there. On 5 E-Tanks, Mother Brain shouldn't be much of a problem. Even has an extra super for Mother Brain 1, in case one gets sniped by a turret.
Yeah, I would have definitely been interested to see how the other runner handles this baby skip, but we were robbed of that opportunity.
Yeah, disappointing.
And here we go. It's a good start so far. Good tethering. Oh, get that last one. There you go.
Yeah, probably like a jump or 2 extra from what they might have wanted, but
still
just
a time
baby
save.
skip. Yeah,
Still a time save from the grab.
Getting baby skip at all, like in a race specifically, that's what you're most worried about, more so than the number of jumps it takes.
That's another reason why I would potentially struggle to watch my opponent, is because if this match were closer, if the other runner had just been better and this match were closer, then I think the baby skip could be a tough thing to look at and go, I have to get this, and just a minor input error ends that attempt, and it just goes bad.
Yeah, it's easy to like get crouch locked or something if you mess up a little bit on that. Looks like MB1 is down, so now the last real challenge for Glove here, in terms of surviving, will be MB2 here.
Yeah, and let me tell you, this is not in the bag, even with 5 energy tanks, because you can get chain damage onion rings for 80 to 100. If you get full blasted with a catch-up, that's gonna be the end of this, so you still got to be careful for these 60 shots. You still got to be careful when you get to 46. This is definitely not in the bag yet.
Yeah, you can even just take a triple hit catch-up technically, and then die, but those are pretty rare. Just 60 shots. At shot number 46, Mother Brain will start shooting catch-ups.
Yeah, if you are new to Super Metroid, the Super Metroid community has named all of these attacks based on food. So what she spits out there are meatballs, big old meatballs. The little I-beams, the little zaggy I-beams are French fries. And the blue circles right there are onion rings. And then you are about to see what we call ketchup here coming up right now.
Yep. And the ketchup is the most dangerous.
Yeah, because I mean that'll just end you practically. I mean, certainly if you had a lot of health, if you were running 100% or something like that, you'd be fine. But yeah, on an any percent, that will destroy you. So now we got a damage down to below 400. Below 400 ensures that you only get zapped by this rainbow beam once instead of twice. So yeah, now we're on a little bit of a cutscene.
You would actually only ever get damaged by it once unless you're over 700, or 600. Yeah, 600. But you don't want to have Mother Brain shooting meatballs at you and just damaging you down, wasting time while you can't do anything.
Right, and so, yeah, we've got a little bit of the break in the action for the baby to come in and basically do this whole thing to save Samus. So in that time, I just want to thank everybody who tuned in to SpeedGaming. If you like the action that you have seen and you have not done so already, feel free to give SpeedGaming and its auxiliary channels a follow. We have a Super Metroid speedrunning community Discord. We get new players that come in all the time, and the community is incredibly helpful for getting new runners off the ground. Getting that sub hour feels great. Getting that sub 50 feels even better. And you can join in on the action too by just following us on the Discord. Also, if you would be so kind as to give our runners a follow, these are prominent Super Metroid runners. I think both of them do randomizers. I know the other runner does. Glove, I think, runs randomizers as well. Just a big thing in the Super Metroid speed gaming communities and those sorts of things. Definitely providing great content if you like to watch players play. Oh no, they just shot the baby.
Who could have seen this coming?
No, well, now I have to be sad about this ending. So get blasted in the face. In all seriousness, though, feel free to give our runners a follow. We thank you so much for tuning in as we watch Glove go through the end of this last escape by blasting Mother Brain in the face 36 times and then running as fast as they can to escape a planet exploding. I realized if you go through the Metroid games, Samus blows up a lot of places that she explores.
Yeah. Blows up, seems like blows up Zebes the first time. This is like the second time the Zebes blows up. For that original game, doesn't blow up SR388 in Metroid 2, but does blow up all of its inhabitants of the Metroids.
Yeah, but doesn't SR388 blow up in Fusion by dropping a space station on it?
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, SR388 does get blown up eventually.
And then, of course, if you have not played Metroid Dread yet, I think it's a very fantastic Metroid platformer. Definitely great modern take on the franchise. That is another planet that blows up. I don't have to worry about spoilers for there, I would hope, because this is a pattern of behavior. You almost should see it coming.
Yeah. Looks like Love just has the parlor and landing site left here. Parlor is a kind of tricky room. You have to play it a little bit differently. Oh no.
Oh boy.
I can't believe this. I think that Glove is looking to get disqualified here. Saving these animals.
Oh, nope, just a look
Oh, I spoke too soon.
Just
Never mind.
Just looking in, just peeking in. That's all we're doing.
My respect for Glove is restored.
There is absolutely nothing behind that door worth checking. And there we go. That is a official racetime.gg time of 47 minutes and 30 seconds. Definitely survived. and won the match. So we're going to try and see if we can get our runners in here for a little bit of post-game commentary, and we will talk to both of our runners. So one of our runners we have to talk to, I really want to ask about that shanking.
I think we might need to mark Glove as finished somehow.
Yeah, they didn't give me any instructions when I came in, sat down, they told me to start talking. I didn't get any real instructions.
Okay, yep, I can get that.
We spend more time playing the game, I think, than doing the commentator and stuff like that. So the buttons, I don't know what they do. But if you guys would be patient with us for just a couple of moments, we're going to get both of our runners in here.
Okay, I think that should send out the...
All right, awesome. They are, yeah, there we go. All right, now we've got them both in here. We've got both of our runners, our winner Glove, our runner-up Nevdi. GG to both of you.
GG.
Yeah, GG. Sorry it had to go like that.
No, you're not sorry. Don't start with me. Look at this room has my 4 biggest enemy. Actually, 4. I'm count myself. Biggest enemies in this one chat. Look at it. Sport, Zeb, Glove. This is a nightmare for me.
Oh, you love it, but...
I love it. Yeah, it's okay. That's part of the racing. I'm not upset to lose. Love Glove. It's just disappointing that I didn't get to, give you a good close race. It always sucks dying. We missed our chance in the quals as well. So yeah, that part feels bad more than the loss. So yeah.
Okay, so I'll start with you, Glove. PK, is that something you're going to stick through for the remainder of the tournament? Because you've got your work cut out for you. You're going to get the 1 seed, the world record holder. You're going to get Zost in the next round. Are you sticking with PK?
I am not losing to Zost by 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I think Zost will run PK as well.
Yeah.
He's gonna probably
I think it makes more sense to run PKRD against Zost than it would against a runner like Nevdi, where it might get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
So, Nevdi, you never answered our question in chat about the budgies.
When you started talking, I was like, oh yeah, listening really carefully, and then you just whipped that out on me. But they are bright purple, so...
I was close! I was really close!
Oh, very nice.
Really bright.
Colored or
Nevdi, that I mean, all things aside, there were some struggles that you still had to push through, Nevdi. I mean, you fell in the moat twice, having to push through that. What do you do to help kind of push that like reset button, or try to like have that short term memory? Is there anything that you do or say, or anything that helps you push that out?
Not really. I've honestly raced so many times that, and I stuff up a lot that it just is kind of normal. I'm more surprised if things go well. It doesn't ever really fluster me. It only flusters me in rando. Actually, in vanilla, it doesn't really. Just because it happens so much, and I'm just so used to it. So I just keep playing as normal.
Yeah, so Nevdi, you'll be up against actually. We'll have to have 2 matches conclude before we know who you're up against. You'll be up against. So Decal and Professor School play, and the winner of that plays Lynx, and then the loser of that plays you. So how would you feel playing against, I guess, any of those people?
I'm pretty sure Lynx will be going through. I'm pretty excited to race D or Prof. I think...
Wow, the disrespect.
Assuming that... If I won, it would have been sort of the same situation. So either way, I was pretty excited about the route, because I probably would have lost to Zeus. It would be close, but if I got through, it would have lost to Zeus, and the same outcome would have been here. That it's always going to be D and Prof. So really happy. They're cool guys, and I think that this side of the bracket I was really lucky because I get to go Glove and potentially those two guys as well. So it's hard. So sorry, to answer your question, I don't feel confident in any situation at all. I don't think there's any
Yeah, I
guaranteed
think
wins or anything. So
that's pretty
it's
clear. But
rough. Yes, I'm more excited about the people I get to race more than if I can get through or win a round. It's more I look for cool matchups.
Sure. So, Glove, how is practice going? Any particular thing you think you might grind through to be more consistent at? If there was one area maybe that you are practicing hard to be more consistent at to prepare for the next match, what do you think that is?
It's really hard to pick just one spot, It would be really easy to say after this race, like, I need to put more time into Fantoon, but that was just LN was going really well, and then it got really sloppy. Like that key hunter, biffing that key hunter manip as hard as I did. Like, if I were running PRKD, then that would have been Nevdi. So.
And I mean, like, if you had seen Nevdi's stream when he died, I mean, there were two key hunters bearing down on him. He was cowering in a corner. He even agreed, like in chat, that's like exactly how it went down.
Yeah,
it's
That's
so
rough.
in races like this, it's I go Firefly's tank before Ridley if the health's good, because it just sets up a bot wound tank skip a little easier. And when I had that much health, I'm like, okay, I have to take 4 hits to die here. Let's just go Fireflies. And then I took 4 hits to die. Can't believe it.
Unfortunate.
It was just bad play, to be honest.
the hit to
I
the
can't
Kazan
believe it.
too really hurt a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. If any one of those didn't exist, I would have got through to the tank, because I get Fireflies a lot. But yeah, just
I think
Oh,
maybe
it's a new one?
you should have just politely asked the key hunters to move out of your way, and then maybe you would have gotten through. But
that's not my style. Get out of my way.
Okay, well, that's gonna probably just about wrap it up. Let's give final thoughts. Nevdi, Glove, space is yours.
If I may tell a real quick story. So, back when I first started out, this was about 2 years ago at this point. SpeedGaming Live 2020 rolls around. I've been running the game for like a couple months. I have like maybe like a 55 or something. But like I had been playing a lot of randos. So, I like eke my way into qualifying for the tournament, the rando tournament. It was Dash, love Dash. And I like, I look at the bracket, I see that my first opponent is some guy named Nevdi, right? I've literally never heard of this guy before. I'm like, okay, let's look at his stream. And I see that he has, an any percent time that I could never hope to beat, that I was never going to get that good. I think it was like a mid 46 at that time. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll like win on like rando knowledge. Maybe there will be, because I had just learned Suitless Meridia, so I was like, oh, maybe Suitless Meridia will come up and he won't know how to do it. I clearly knew nothing about Nevdi at this point. It was a best of 3 series. The first seed, he beats me in 47 minutes in a rando. And that was sort of the moment that I realized what Super Metroid could be. And so it really means a lot to me to get this victory.
Well,
absolutely
I've heard
GG's
that
to
story.
Nevdi.
I've heard that story a few
Love
times,
you.
and
Can't wait. Yeah, can't wait to race you again.
Well, don't
Thanks.
worry, Glove. You have avenged all of us in this victory over Nevdi today.
yeah, like our rando one. I mean, our race before, but I've heard that story before. It's really, really awesome. Like, I have memories of my first opponents too, and it does stick with you. And I've, been watching you, and I was really excited to see you get better, because a lot of the new runners you watch, but I knew that you had potential, and I think we share a really similar approach to this game. We love racing, love rando. Whatever's involved. If there's a tournament on, we're in it. You know, I think that you've joked that you're a budget me, but now I think that gap is very close, and I got to be careful because I might be the budget you soon. But love you, love, and yeah, it's really cool to race you. Bye.
Means a lot.
That's awesome. Getting too emotional here now, so we just throw some jokes out again, guys. Come on.
I'm getting too emotional in your post-game interviews, Nevdi.
I know.
Gotta cut that out.
I know.
This is the round one interview.
I'm just glad to know I don't have to face Nevdi anytime soon. But I guess maybe for his sake, because I know I live rent-free in his head.
Oh, you do. See that? I watch that clip every morning. I wake up before I get started, and I watch it to motivate my life.
So one more bit of Aussie slang here. What's your favorite Akadaka album?
I don't know the albums. I just like their songs. Oh man, you've got me now. You see, I'm googling.
I think Nevdi is a fake.
Highway to Hell. Highway to Hell. Highway to Hell. Actually, that's a crap album. There's some shit songs in there.
Oh yeah, it's an AC/DC album.
Back in
Definitely. Nevdi, I want you to know I've not forgotten what happened last year, like early last year in GT Classic. I haven't forgotten. So.
Oh, I've raced you guys a lot. Hey, it's good.
Oh my gosh! Thank you guys once again for joining in on our madness. Thank you to our runners, Nevdi and Glove. You guys did put on a good race. It was close for a while till Nevdi got shanked. So sorry to see that. Glove, congratulations. Enjoy your match against Zost. Nevdi, you're going into the holding pen for a little while. So good luck on who your next opponent is. Again, give SpeedGaming its auxiliary channels a follow. Give our runners a follow. We just thank you guys so much for tuning in. Zeb, take us home.
Yep, just thanks everyone for watching. I don't actually have the schedule up, so I don't know when the next match will be, but there will be a bunch of... I think there are a bunch of matches coming up relatively quickly.
There's a bunch of both gold and silver brackets tomorrow. We're in wrap up round 1 of the gold bracket tomorrow with 2 matches, and then there are plenty of silver matches between here and Wednesday, so you definitely want to tune into those.
Yep, so with that, make sure to tune in tomorrow, and we will see you guys then.